Okay, and we are live. So, yesterday we finished the White March DLC on the Pillars of Eternity. I was gonna say Pillars of Exile, no. In Pillars of Eternity, we finished the DLC. It was decent. I think I liked the last few bit. It was alright DLC, like a 7 out of 10, maybe even an 8 in the good moments. But now we're on back to the base game. We're going to finish, or at least I'm going to try to finish the base game. Once again, today might be, or at least I'm aiming for today to be a short stream. So we'll see how long the ending sequence is. So yeah, we're going to the Burial Isles. We have to jump into the giant pit, stop what's his face from releasing Wodika, and make a decision about what to do with all the souls. We'll see. I expect the final battles to be a bit easy because we're way over leveled. The max level used to be level 12. We're already level 14 because the DLC level cap increases. We'll see. Anyway, let's get started. Boop. So, let me just continue. We were right before getting onto Burial Isle. We were just before getting on the ship to get to it. So it shouldn't be too bad of a trek to get there. I mean, last time around in the White March... Oh, hey doggo. We had a 2-floor dungeon to clear with like 10 encounters. So it wasn't that bad. That big either. Okay. So here we are. Let's go to the boat and make our way there. We are currently blessed by the gods. Well, we don't have a particular god's blessing because I haven't made any promises. But we do have their permission to get into Burial Isle and jump into the giant bottomless pit. Well, it has a bottom, but it's magical or something. The giant pit. Select. Yes. Okay, let's go. Find the Court of Penitence. I can try. Any hints? No.
No sign that anyone's been here in ages.
Do you remember when we were children, and the missionaries came to tell us about the gods? They told us we could see them in the stars.
Oh yeah, we also are supposed to have the assistance of some of the ghosts in here.
I remember when I heard that, I snuck out at night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because I wanted to see them better. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out.
Dang.
It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
They'll do worse. Those missionaries are all inquisitors now. Strange to think they're the same people underneath, but I suppose you would know. This is your home as much as mine. Do you worry about it? I worry about you. You should be more worried about yourself. Have the guards still plot your death at night. I
miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
You can feel words formed long ago rising in your throat like a toxic black bile. Have you thought about Oceanus? I think that was a ruler that was gonna betray them.
Oceanus. They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
Alright. Another miscalculation. Hello. Oh, we need to rest. Well, let's rest. I guess I forgot to rest once we were done with the DLC. Alright. Time to murder all these guys. It shouldn't be too bad. Easy.
I'm here.
Oh, everyone's paralyzed. Didn't last long though. Yep, they're all dead. This time the game didn't give me a message like, oh, you're a way too high level, do you want to increase the difficulty? Like they did with the DLC. Which I appreciate, I guess. How big is this place? Oh, it's decently big. Yoink. Couple of souls. So this place used to be Croatia? Back in Ingwithian times? No. Heyo. Alright. Cool. Looks a bit like a tower. No. Right over here. Okay, that's a big force. Let me get some tentacles to distract them. Also, let me get immunity to paralyzation. There. That's gonna help.
Hi?
Who's that hitting Ala? So how are you guys paralyzed if I just made them all immune? Oh well. It's fine. Done.
Yes?
So are these bodies supposed to be burned? Or is this how they were always buried? More burial grounds. Full of ghosts. Meh, ignore that. Am I eating souls? What's happening? More ghosts. Kill him. Okay. We're also going to be immune to paralyzation again. Up. That'll come in handy. Also heal. There we go. They're not that tough. Once you boink them. Alright. Let's keep it up. A couple of souls. Oh, that's the giant pit.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Theos signals some unseen attendant standing beside a large crank. Is it the wheel?
I ask again, Jovara Exensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Iovara only stares ahead.
Do you confess to apostasy?
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
What?
I confess to opening minds.
Even with the worship of Wodica, aren't these guys still polytheist?
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
Nice.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
She seems to look directly at you.
Another turn.
Oh,
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Theo shakes his head and points at the Inquisitor, and the scraping grind of rusted gears echoes in your mind as it all fades away. So that's the giant hole. You know, I thought it would be
If
bigger.
this doesn't inspire faith in the gods, I don't know what will.
Every wrinkle and boil carved into Wodika's statue looks painfully familiar. You mean the statue does? Are you guys made Wodika ugly? Also, it looks like we're gonna be going way further than just Burial Isle. Maybe change the stream's title to make it more accurate. There we go. That shouldn't be too bad. Went from Burial Isle to ending. Hopefully I'm not being overly ambitious. Okay, let's jump down. A great pit lies in the shadow of the statue of Wodika. No light from the surface reaches the bottom, but even so you can catch flickers of a ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffets you. It isn't cold, but it grazes goose flesh along your arms. The wind carries a whisper, low and sibilant. As you look inside, souls gather around you. They encase you in a cloud of essence that swirls around your body. Jump. Is it gonna be only me? You jump, trusting in the promise of the gods, and the power of the souls to bear you safely down. The sudden drop takes your breath away, but the souls catch you, encasing you in a shining, strumming aura. While they slow your descent, you can still feel that you are falling faster than you should. The sense flowing around you is strong but chaotic. You find yourself drifting towards the wall. Nearby Kana drifts downward at a rapid pace. Why'd they ever agree to this? It's hard to keep. Look out to the wall! Take control of the souls to guide yourself to safety. Concentrating, you focus on the essence around you and knit together in your mind. Or as a jumble of souls becomes a single entity, coordinated and purposeful. You manage to spread your arms and legs into an X, steadying your position at the rate of your descent. You start to feel more comfortable until you notice that Alaf is still falling too fast. Resolve. Command the souls. Your soul reaches towards the turbulent essence surrounding Alaf. You organize the lost souls. Alaf reaches the bottom with a gentle thump. Your point is considered high level. Oh, well, the critical path can be increased to difficulty. No thanks. This is considered Act 4. Oh god. I'm gonna rename the stream again. For no particular reason. A whole Act 4, huh? Wait, no. The dialogue. No. No. Dialogue. And for, well, okay. Before you, an eroded walkway become faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through the cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. They glow in a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. Look above the opening you jump through and now bury a speck of light like some distant star. Alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach, your only way lies ahead. Alright.
I'm here. That went better than I expected.
Enter
I
Sun and
dislocated
Shadow.
That's better.
Now this I haven't seen before.
It's gonna be trapped,
All
huh?
right. No shattered knees. Good. Just me then.
Why are you all
That's
you guys?
bracing.
Why are all you guys complaining? I did my best to control the descent. Lots of dust, apparently. Yeah. This is not that big of a location. Ooh, look at these tentacles. What is that? Hey, examine. Okay, well, I guess I can't. This is supposed to be Adra? I'm not sure. It's hard to see. Well, time to win. Let me just press the win button. There we go. Now we should be fine. Please kill him. Also, reinforcements here. Hey, Shrek. Boink. Got some ogres with us. We mind control the shade. Good. Everybody's dead. Good. We're winning, baby. Not too hard. Feels good to be much higher level. Oh god, we have a crossroad. Okay, well, time to cross the road. Money. What do we need money for? We're at the bottom of the pit. We're gonna find merchants? Am I gonna bribe somebody? Let me just give it a sec. They're all gonna die soon anyway. He's killed all the ghosts. Shoot the ghosts with your guns like that. Yep. Thank you. Easy. Done. Meh, we can still loot. Maybe we'll find something. Maybe. What is that? The pillar tugs at your essence. A pulse from the world itself moves through it. Weird. Soul Adra Prison. Those are called... Oh, is this where all the baby souls went? Where all the Hollowborn souls got? That need to be released? I'm not sure. They were all imprisoned somewhere. Ignore all the noises. Can we fireball? Fireball. Please fireball. Please fireball. Please fireball. Please fireball. Finally. Took a while. Okay, guys. You kill this guy. Please. Shoot him. Dead. And then we just have to win with the front line. Here's a buff and a debuff. There we go. And now we can just grind them down. Slowly but surely. Looks a bit wonky, but that's fine. As long as we win, I don't mind. Takes a bit. Only 2 left. Only 1 left. Kill him. He's down. Kill him harder. Dead. Easy. Loot. What is that thing? Oh, it heals. Nice. A super armor. Is that the void? What am I... Is that a wall or am I looking at the void? It looks like it's pitch black. Oh, spooky. Soul Guardian Pillars. If you say so. Oh, I was expecting another fight here. If I'm gonna be honest. Oh. Hello? Yes? Don't tell me you glitched. Well. A column of Adra rises above you, stoic and silent. Its rigid layers a measuring stick for the passing of ages. It feels to you a thick block of ice, and you perceive buried deep in the core a dim flickering flame. The glow seems to fade as though you had adjusted to its intensity. Though ageless, she appears somehow different to you now, a slight stoop in her carriage, perhaps or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There's a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy, where flames once slapped, unhealed even in death.
Hello, old friend. The ages have been kind to you, I hope. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
I haven't finished business.
I'd hoped after our last discussion you would find what you sought. Has it eluded you all this time? I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
He's doing the plot of the game.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
You knew me when Theos did. There's something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There's something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what it is, and I'm running out of time. I see moments from that life of you of the Inquisition of Theos.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
And what were you teaching? Her mouth tightens and her brow furrows, a look of pity.
That the gods aren't real.
Sure, I can get behind that.
I'd dreaded the idea from the moment the Delimgon suggested it. And yet, it almost feels like a relief. She's not serious.
I mean, you've killed one, eh there? I mean...
Perhaps not to her. Many are those whom the gods have scorned. This is petty retribution.
There's a theory puts my boldest to shame. But we ourselves have seen the gods' influence.
Well, maybe they're not omnipotent. They definitely make mistakes.
That doesn't seem possible.
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
How did you discover this?
The Nguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
I mean, the gods are real, but they might not be gods. Maybe the concept is not the thing. Maybe like really powerful spirits or something. But maybe that's why Andara wanted the Nguithian to all die, because of this secret they're keeping of the gods being fake. Who created the gods?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Nguithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone.
So they made some?
It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
Did they create the wheel? And all that stuff? That doesn't seem right.
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith.
If the gods are fake, is reincarnation still real?
I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
I mean, I can believe that the gods aren't godly, but what are they actually?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself, as you once did.
I mean, we have actual proof that the gods exist. I've spoken with them. So you gotta do better than that.
Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Uh-huh. Are you sure you're not the one with the cheap tricks?
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
That's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not.
So they do have the power.
What if it were forbidden knowledge rather than fault that earned your doom? What of your guilt?
I have seen with my own eyes the deceptions of my goddess. The Watcher has shown me as much. But it was not until now that I understood how truly desperate she was. The depths of her deception.
You speak of her deceptions, but what of your own? Was it her words that led you down your path? Or was it the absence of her words? A gap that you filled with your own broken thoughts.
Beads of sweat coalesced in Jurance's forehead and trickled down the side of his face.
What if you had always been alone, without guidance?
Well, as poorly as I've chosen my guides, I suppose it would be a comfort to know that I'm free of them.
The freedom has always been. It was the guidance that was the illusion.
Do I not count?
If all our common threads are spun from a lie, what's left to bind us together?
All of us across Aora are trying to survive, to make sense of the world. What could better bind us together than that struggle? We'll find our own truths. Make them if we must. We don't need an ancient lie to bolster us. United, the Engwithans created gods.
We don't know that.
Mortal men and women coming together to do the impossible. Let us surpass them.
You just want to redo all the gods?
What if our burdens come to us not because they are meant to be, but because they happen to be?
They shape us all the same. It doesn't matter how I drew the small tooth, or even that Pursock had become a deer. The task fell to me, and I completed it.
They seem to have quite the unshakable faith. You feel the weight of Ereva's translucent eyes upon you. What if we can be assured of nothing? Assured of nothing. I mean, we are sure of some things. But let's imagine we can't see anything. Create ourselves. Our own strength so we can bear it. Do some stuff.
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us.
They consume us, since that's something you can be sure of.
I ask these things not to trouble, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple. But somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
People need to know that things happen for a reason. A fabricated reason is better than none at all. We do, even with assurance that there's still the truth. I don't think that makes much of a difference either way. Meh.
I often wonder that myself.
Cheap tricks.
If things had gone differently, if the world had taken my faith instead of the Anguithan's faith, would it truly be what I had envisioned? I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt traces her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
I resented you?
I think maybe I suspected. I just didn't want to believe it, not from you. When you showed up at my camp that day, I thought it would be like it had been before. I was careless. If you resented me then, I bear the blame. Good. The things I taught, the things I believed, I needed to hear that. I needed to know it wasn't because...
Because I thought Theos was right? I need to know that it wasn't because after everything you'd learned, you still rather believe in a lie. It was the conclusion people reach once they know everything, that my purpose had been a mistake. That seems a harsh connection.
I may not have loved you in the same way you loved me, but I loved you all the same. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
You're not going to be able to convince everyone of anything true or not.
I'm aware
wait,
of the folly of trying to learn so much from so little. I've had time to consider that in all its facets. But in the end, it was all I had. Even knowing what you've told me, some part of me knows it doesn't truly answer what I wished to know, nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
I did a choice? I didn't do that.
At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish, but now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs.
Maybe.
Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use...
So, what actually are the gods? Are you bound here?
In a matter of speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, the court of the penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the side of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle.
I might have help with that.
This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition. But time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then?
Yep.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes.
Sure did.
Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing.
Maybe.
But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Uh-huh.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life. But that trial was my one moment of certainty. Even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will.
Mm-hmm.
I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence, with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
It's like she also is a bit of a grotesque and ugly ideal. This place, what is it? I could tell you, but I won't tell you. Okay, cool. How do you speak Edarian? I speak nothing. Do you know what it is I need from
I
Theos?
could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
So, if the gods, or at least Andra, killed all the Inguithian and made them all forget, or made us forget the truth about the gods, why did they kill the Inguithian if they all created the gods? And the point was to stop all wars. The Inguithians created the gods to stop all the religious wars. But we just fought the Saints' War, so that didn't work at all. And also they killed the Inguithians, so... yeah. Not great. So far, they failed in their ethos. The gods, they didn't do what they were made to do. At least, if they were made or something. I still think Yehovah is also using the cheap tricks she's saying the missionaries are using. Not a great persuasion tactic. Where was Theos done all this? Like 1,000 years ago? 2,000? 5,000? 10,000?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules.
They have rules?
Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he.
She has a realm?
If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
Yeah, well, there's already gonna be chaos because I already restored Abaddon's drive to conserve things, which means he's at war. He's gonna be in conflict with Andra. So why not get Woodica in the mix too, huh? Why not?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Aeora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
Okay, so kill him, basically. So if the gods are all fake, or a creation, or aren't whatever you're saying they are, isn't it a good thing for them to be chaos and destroy themselves? Isn't that what you want? Question mark. is that with this infusion, there will be no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in the realm and as well as ours. Isn't that what you want? That's what you want, right? If all the gods are revealed to be fake, that's also gonna create chaos. Meh, whatever.
Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
Uh-huh. The gods have given me the souls of the forgiven. If you repent, you could join with me. Help me start the final blow against Theos. Your defiance here is an illusion. You're a slave to the gods. If you hadn't planned the doubt in my mind long ago, I'd be living a normal life right now. I'll repay you with this curse. Can you help me?
If I repent, all I have done has meant nothing.
I mean, maybe all you did does mean nothing. Are you sure you're not a slave to the gods? It is a bond now, one that has always been an interleaving of her essence with yours, as the extremities of your perception. You are tied to this woman, and you can feel a measure of control over it. I can disintegrate your souls, make you cease to exist. Then it would be no different than the other souls the gods have broken in this place. I do not wish to stop fighting them. The ultimate commitment to making your point is to sacrifice your own existence. As long as you are here, the gods know you value the life they gave you. What? Excuse me. I mean, she might as well go all the way. For a long time, Aurora says nothing. Looking at her now, she tears off the fatigue is unmistakable, as though her life has been some dream from long ago, and her imprisonment a day without end. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps there's a way to end this on my terms.
Your soul deserves an end to its suffering. I'm sorry I wasn't able to grant it myself. May it come to you swiftly.
She really was making herself... She was only staying here because she couldn't logic her way into stopping... She couldn't logic her way into stopping existence without making this a point in favor of the gods.
I suppose I have waited long enough, and I do not wish to delay you any further. Come, let's be done with this once and for all.
Alright.
I am ready.
Disintegrate. Pew. In your mind's eye, Alvara's soul becomes a doll of parchment. Your focus flies towards the doll in waves of sparks that gather in clusters at his feet. You push harder and the sparks engorge, dancing upwards to the flames that climb the base of the doll, curling it, peeling it back the woven fibers and turning them into luminescent orange before fading to the purest black. The doll seems to hang there a moment as the last of the parchment is consumed by the last of the flames, leaving only a few tenuously connected strands that hold together its shape. Ivora tips her head slightly to you, and with that, the last strands give way, coming apart as particles of ash, and she's gone. Phew. Okay, there she goes. Didn't really help much. Says the gods are fake, except for all the proof that they're real. Didn't really talk all that well. All she did was, you have to believe me, pretty please, that the gods are fake, despite all the proof that they exist.
So, it's true. The gods are a sham that people have followed for thousands of years.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by a sham? What do you mean? They're real? I mean, she's talking about the gods like they do exist.
How may I help?
It's not like they don't exist. So what do you mean by that?
Yes?
I guess we'll see. We're inside the sun and moon. Search for Theos.
I can't see much, but I hear a noise like a pig choking on wet feed. So, I guess Durance is breathing at least.
A bunch of ashed people. It's a bit dark. Oh. Okay, it's less dark. Seems like a big dungeon. Oh god.
Full of surprises,
I'm here.
aren't you?
Look at the size of this place.
So we have to talk with our companions.
A city to put all others to shame, and long lost.
We light our own path now, Watcher.
Can
What?
you do that again? I had something in my eye. I missed most of it.
Okay. We have to talk with some of our companions, so let's do that now. Yo.
We've been lied to. Our whole lives, and many lives before that. And it's led us to put our faith in a pantheon of gods that never deserved it in the first place.
The gods haven't served their purpose at all. Don't say that. Tess is wrong. Most people are fundamentally decent. That's maybe. Maybe not. I mean, if we take into account all the people we've killed, we've got like a 2,000, 3,000 kill count of human beings. And we only have like 100 NPCs, so that's probably not true, actually. What difference does it make? People will be whatever they are. People will be what they are whether or not there are gods to believe in. I guess that's true.
I'm surprised to hear you say this. It seems that much harm comes from imposing authority where perhaps none is needed. We've seen the atrocities that members of the Leaden Key have committed without even understanding why or for whom they act.
Yeah, but they wanted to.
For once, the half-souled elf is right. To live in ignorance is to allow the gods to have their way with us.
I've also been thinking. There won't be much left of Theos by the time you're done with him, if I know how you operate. That will leave the Leaden Key headless. Perhaps it's best it stays that way.
If the Leaden Key doesn't have any head, it's just gonna disintegrate. They don't know anything about anything. So they'll just poof. They'll just poof out of existence.
Then let's face Theos. When this is all over, I'll make sure that no one is able to commit his abuses again.
Okay, and what about Adair?
Well, doesn't that just beat all? Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same
Why are you
thing.
guys all believing Iovora on word of mouth? She didn't give any actual proof. She just said, we have actual proof the gods are real. You know, like how they talk to me, and I have the hammer of Abaddon in my hand, and they almost killed us all. So it's not like they're not real.
Wonder how things would have gone different 15 years ago if the raid Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
Meh. If their god, if it was their god who made them believe they were right. I mean, they were still starving.
I could see the rebellion still happening, but I don't know that they would have invaded. I don't know. When Woden left for war, we, had a fight. As brothers will.
Classic.
About him going off to war. He was set on it. But my parents warned him. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. Me? I didn't know who was right. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one.
You know, they find Mech Warrior. So apparently the gods are fake, except they're totally not fake because we've seen the gods, we've talked to the gods, we've fought the gods, we have a god hammer on our side. So that's definitely not what's whatever. The gods are a creation. They aren't a part of the fabric of the universe. They're like they only appeared like 2,000 years ago or something. Which I don't think changes much, I gotta be honest.
I said every vicious thing I could think of, trying to change his
That's why they
mind.
suck, though.
He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then...
The gods are... the gods are fake. I said the gods, I've seen so much gods, so many gods. Well, they're just... I mean, I think that explains why they all suck. Because they're not, like, eternal beings made from the fabric of the universe. They're, like... They came around a couple thousand years ago. So they're still learning. They're still in the learning process. That's why they all suck.
By the time I'd cooled off, months had passed.
Right now we're in the trial and error
One
phase.
morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. Of course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think he went to Wade Waden because of what you said to him?
Crossed my mind.
Excuse me.
You live in a place like Gilded Vale. You don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about.
The gods, they've seen famine and glutton.
I hope that wasn't it. I hope he went there because it's what he thought was right.
So if you left with him,
Seems I'm not meant to know.
if you'd left with him, you would have known why he changed his mind.
If I'd have left with him, we'd both be dead. So
Maybe.
I don't know why I bothered thinking about it. He asked me to trust him the day he left. Said if I went with him, he'd make sure we were on the right path. And he deserved that. He deserved that trust from me. Raid Saris is a long way to walk on your own. I think I'd have liked to have been there with him on that journey. Even knowing how it ended.
Okay, well, doesn't matter.
Still one more mess we gotta straighten out. Come on then. I still owe you one.
Okay, well,
I'm here.
we'll see what happens. We just gotta make our way to the end of this floor, I think. It's hard to say. I don't know where I am. I don't know who's what, when's how, and how's who. Oh, enemies. Ingwithian Shade. Kill him. Shoot the ghosts. Shoot the ghosts with your guns. The gods aren't fake. The gods are fake, but not your guns. Dead. Easy. What the heck is that? Oh. Hello? What the f— a shadow drake. So don't make me fight any dragons, please. Let me spell us. Spell go. For this filthy casual 12 gauge. Who needs magic when you have guns? Excuse me. If the gods are fake, how are we casting magical spells with our faith? Huh?
Yes?
Well, that was easy. We are way over leveled though. Because of the gods, which don't exist, apparently. There's a bunch of skeletons here. Cool. Oh! Do they have pet dragons? Look at that. They had collars. Excuse me. I'm fine, I swear. I'm still recovering, though. The power of friendship is strong, but it can penetrate armor. Nothing can penetrate armor, except for guns. The shadows in the cavern suddenly lengthen and swallow you. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You're surrounded by mists. The ground feels springy under your feet. As if on cue, the mist before you clear just enough for you to take a couple steps forward. You continue. Rays of light cut through the haze. Something whizzes past you. As you turn, you catch another whir of movement, and another, and another. A figure steps out. He who sees and is not seen, save when he chooses, it seems. I thought the god of mysteries were my chief enemy at times, but one cannot seek out answers if the questions aren't here. Well, the figure transforms from male to female, from Orlin to Almaoa, its bones lengthening and its fur receding into its flesh.
Your very past is a mystery. You bury it deep, reinventing yourself with each new path.
Cool.
You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. and following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
Cool. Also, the gods aren't real, by the way. That's not that thing I'm just thought. Well, that's not real. Sure. Sure it isn't. Sure it isn't. Will giggles and strangely modulated sound that rises and falls as the god, which doesn't exist, shifts from one form to the next. You seek and search while your foes obscured, and even your quest for answers to your past has only led you to another mystery. Sure. Another riddling god. Another riddling god, fantastic. The form of these questions prepares the seeker for the answer washer, and while you seek to repair your past, Wodika seeks to restore her future.
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Wodika's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
Not sure. Do not consign these souls to the fate of some god's choosing. You have found them. Now scatter them across existence, the destination known to neither god nor mortal. Let them be lost again, new answers to new riddles. Just hide them in a corner somewhere. Sure. Why?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
Okay, well that's stupid. Get out of here.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads.
Shut up. You stupid.
Even I do not know what you would choose.
Nah. Just go and lose all the souls again. Sure. Sure I will. Why? Because I want more questions so we can answer them.
Hmm?
It's for a sequel. I'm working on a sequel to this game. We need another soul adventure. Can I jump across this? I'm not gonna jump across this. Why would I do that? Probably for a treasure. I'm good. Let's get to another fight. You've forgotten the name of the game, but apparently there's a time traveler that goes from post-apocalypse world to medieval with grenades and such. Kinda excited for it. I don't remember, but that does sound somewhat familiar. Alright. Bunch of ghosts. We can take it. Oh, and a Drake. We'll be fine. Presumably. Give us a second. Oh, Adolf is hurting. Time to heal.
What?
Give me some
Follow your
reinforcements. I gotta play the game. Give me a sec. But yeah, as I've said, the gods do suck, so don't listen to them. But they're not fake though. That's also stupid. That's so stupid that you think a god would have said that. Excuse me.
Yes?
Okay then. Are we there yet? Just let me finish the game, please. Don't talk to me about gods anymore. That was also stupid. Oh, we did it.
Yes?
The sun and shadow. We're supposed to be here. Oh no. It's a labyrinth. Oh no.
Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
Excuse me.
If you do not, you will have greater powers than... I wouldn't ask this. Were there any other choice?
Those are all lines we've heard before.
This is a missionary, same as I was. Alcyonis. They have held up.
Yeah.
You are ready to give a confession?
Let me save.
I am ready to hear one from you.
Heyo. I'm here now. This? Oh, got a gajillion XP. Cool. Ooh, a big machine. You've come to a circular room, grand and domed. Its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. At the base of the pillar stands Theus, a look of concern on his face as he notes your approach.
You are far from your post, Inquisitor. What brings you here?
The machine behind you, what does it do?
It has many uses, but its purpose is to bring structure to the chaos that surrounds it.
What are the statues?
They are monuments to Woodica's greatest servants among my people. I hope to join them myself one day, but my work is not yet complete.
What is this place?
We are in a sanctum holy to Woodica. There are others like it in service to the other gods. I come here often to pray for her counsel. And in this space, I may be assured that she hears me.
So this is the place where the gods are created?
That woman sought only to destroy the foundations of peace and civility that my people sacrificed everything to build. The Inquisition was based on the need to cut the flesh from a rotting wound.
You lied to me when you said the gods could end suffering. Are there no gods?
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked? Something men can turn to in their darkest moments when their days seem only like bridges from one tragedy to the next. Our gods are all these things.
Are there no gods, except when there are, because they're real and they talk to me all the time and they tell me stupid things and they do a bunch of mistakes?
We are in a sacred place within earshot of the gods themselves. This is not the time. You've been through much these past few months. You will return home and you will rest. When you feel you have recovered, you may rejoin us at the trials. The Inquisition is far from over, and I will have need of you. There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment on all of them.
Alright. So the gods are like giant machines. Cool. Maybe. I said they don't need to be mating because they kill the Inquisition on purpose.
How did you find it?
I didn't. It was Lady Webb.
Another in a string of acts of petty defiance. For all her knowledge, she always preferred spite over reason.
She loved you.
Then she should have obeyed. I ask one thing of all my followers. She was incapable. A waste of rare talent and intellect.
Blind obedience is a lot to ask for someone with her own mind.
What of your cohorts, then? They have followed you to their deaths. Is it loyalty that brings them here? Or is it, as my agents suggest, that they have no direction of their own?
I mean, they're NPCs, so sure.
You worshipped Aethys, did you not?
Your spies are good. What gave me away? The cape?
Yet when your god needed you the most, you chose your country.
We were being invaded. Not by anyone who was acting like a god.
Then I should think your hometown gave you a hero's welcome when you returned.
Well, they made cake. And I think you can expect folks to get jumpy when the gods aren't there to reassure them. Maybe if they weren't all too busy trying to kill each other.
The gods argue over how best to prevent Kith society from destroying itself. These disruptions would not be necessary were mortal instinct not so diseased. You have devoted yourself to studying the work of my people. Why?
I thought your people had much to teach us. That we too could create great machines, improve our ships, make an empire as vast and impressive as yours ever was, built upon your secrets.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
I know better. The Inquisitions weren't an infallible race. You were never gods. All your petty experiments are your heinous crimes, your glorious achievements. You were just people and your time came and went. Anguish is a lesson now for those who remain.
You are living in the time of my people, Amawa.
Dang.
You owe them more than you will ever comprehend, and so it shall ever be. Greater civilizations than yours have attempted to reclaim what we buried. The greater their successes, the worse their fates in the end. I have seen to
That's because if they get the secret to making gods, the current gods won't like it. If they find the secret that the gods aren't whatever, then, you know, so the gods are actively trying to kill all civilizations that get too close to the secret, I guess.
You built a weapon that delivered exactly as promised.
I served my goddess as you did yours.
Yet the other builders were slain, 11 of a dozen. Why not you? Were you somehow different? Redeemable in your god's sight?
Whatever desire I had to be redeemed in her eyes was weakness, purged by the Watcher's sight.
Heyo.
Or was it merely that your goddess wanted you dead as well, and your delusions of importance prevented you from seeing the obvious?
A whore's beguiling charms, nothing more. But the spell's broke now, Theos. The trial's over. I know friend from foe, and I've come here now to see a foe repaid.
You were able to destroy a god because another god wished it. Without her hand to guide you, you could not strike at a god any more than you could strike the sky. You are impotent, and not just from the pox.
Oof. Good burn.
State your name and purpose, young acolyte.
My name belonged to the gods and my hand to their service. No more.
You serve none but yourself. Without contact with your order, you can have no higher purpose. Only the base concerns of the flesh. You have cast yourself from our ranks.
So he's currently interrogating all my companions because he said they were all gonna be... they have no will and they're only obeying blind orders. But they all say that they're pretty informed about the situation.
And I should have done it years before. I'd rather live in uncertainty than servitude.
And that uncertainty would lead you where it leads everyone. To doubt, to emptiness, to the many cruelties inspired by disbelief. You will have to forgive your Grandmaster for remaining skeptical of his initiate's choices. You are far from home, dwarf.
I knew my hunt would send me a long way from Masuk. It was a challenge I was glad to undertake for my village.
A journey, then. It must be of some import to take you so far and to last so long.
Anything worth doing comes at great cost.
So it was worth it, then, to tell a dying beast of things it neither understood nor had memory of. You are here because you are lost. The gods cannot reach everyone, I'm afraid. May you fare better in your next lives.
Uh-huh.
I gather you have had your soul awakened. Why else would you shadow my footsteps like some stray mongrel? You think I have something to offer you, but our business was concluded long ago.
Please tell me all the things I want to know.
I answered your questions once. That your soul is not fit to accept the answers is of little concern to me. I lied to no one. Not to you, not to anyone. The gods are real. They are everything we need them to be, and the world is better for it.
The point of the gods was to stop all wars, but we just fought a war against gods.
The spread of our faith ended many such atrocities.
Uh-huh.
I do what I must to ensure it continues to do so. The heart of this country has skipped a beat. Nothing more. I have done far worse. I plunged the peaceful kingdom of Telosus into civil war. I slew the monarch of Desantio, whose people never knew hardship under his rule, and replaced him with a cruel despot who brought them to ruin.
Sounds like you're doing a lot of bad things for no apparent reason.
When plague arrived at the great city of Arborensis, I saw to it that the cure did not. They piled their dead outside the city in heaps that rose above their walls.
Is that supposed to... Is that a defense? Are you defending yourself by saying you did way worse atrocities?
It is to show the proper perspective.
That you're doing lots of atrocities to get the gods who were supposed to end atrocities?
There was a time, back when your soul was still a shapeless mist, when the world believed only in false gods. Thousands of them. Gods that told them to take slaves. Gods that told them to make war upon their neighbors and devour the slain. Gods that told them to burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes as a sign of their faith.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure people all still do that.
But all that changed when they learned of the true gods. Our gods. All those misshapen, bestial instincts melted beneath the radiance of our god's majesty. You could see it in their eyes. That dull emptiness replaced with the glimmer of a kindled spark.
People still take slaves. Teaching them there will be no gods would achieve the same purpose.
And replaced it with one far worse. Have you imagined this existence? The one the apostate would have created. We are not all so virtuous as she. Without our gods, the most wicked, the most tyrannical, they would take that power for themselves. But more than that, it would be a hollow existence. All mysteries forever unanswered. All purposes constructed from meaninglessness. No endings to bring closure. Only a wheel, turning without mercy, grinding our spirits to dust.
So there is still, so the wheel, reincarnation is still, so, okay, so reincarnation is older than the gods. Okay, so people do, okay. So, okay, so there's reincarnation and the wheel is still, that's godless. That's not the gods doing. Okay. In that case, and if there weren't the machines around, the gods wouldn't be around. Okay. I mean, people can still just make up whatever, even if you teach them that the gods don't exist, but the wheel, reincarnation, that does exist. Can you just worship that instead? That you actually do have souls and that kind of karma, and you can awaken yourself to what your previous life did and all that stuff. It's not like the world is entirely physical. There's still metaphysical and spiritual stuff happening, and magic. You underestimate people?
For all my years, I have seen exactly what they are capable of. What the apostate asked was beyond any man. All I have seen, the millennia of experience. I will not be dissuaded from this course. This is the only way.
You're blind to think yours is the only way. You're controlled by your own doubts.
We are all controlled by our own doubts. Better that we should be relieved of them.
Mm-hmm.
With your soul and thousands of others, I will see this world purged of its suffering.
That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna work.
Hear me, Woodica. Your servant calls for aid.
Well, time to fight, I guess. Look. Okay. Ah. That could be an issue. Whoa, pause. Whitaker's judge. Oh, they're undead. Headman, judge. Immune to charm, confuse, disease, dominated, poison, sick, and unconscious. You know what they're not immune to? Petrification. Okay. Theos is a priest. He's gonna buff the enemy. That's fine, we can dispel all the buffs. Over here. Get him. Okay, wizard. Give me some summons. Distract this guy over there. Okay. Adolf. Give us a buff over here. Nobody took any damage. Adolf is gonna die soon. Please don't do it. Defend yourself. And he's dead. These guys do a gajillion damage. We need to be careful. Okay, well, we couldn't petrify, but that's fine. Let's do a quick heal. Come on, we almost got one. He's attracted by all the tentacles.
Following your lead.
Reinforcements. Go, 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 go. This guy's dying. Kill him. Guys, kill him. Attack him. Do your stuff. Okay, now we have some dead people. Time to resurrect them. Up.
I'm here.
Don't we have another one? There we go. Revive the magician. Boom. Okay, he's back. More. Let me petrify the enemy so then we can get away. No, never mind. Probably won't work. Give it a big spell. Go. Okay, we've killed one of the enemies. Good. Now we can have the front line someplace else. Okay. Our mage is down again. Go over here. Guys. Oh, he's paralyzed. Go, 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 go. Double damage. No, he's no longer paralyzed. Heal us, please. Now be the good time. Oh, damn, I already did the heal. Buff.
Yes?
More reinforcements to distract this guy. We'll be fine. Presumably. Boom! And now Theus. Kill him. In particular. Boink. Ouch. Oh, we're suffering. Revive Claude, please. Got mind control, but that's fine. Let me dispel all of his buffs if I can. No, he doesn't have any buffs. Whatever. Up. He has 108 defense. Sure.
Yes?
We can take that. I'd win. Oh, he healed. I wasn't thinking of healing. Uh-oh. And now these guys all turned.
Yes?
That's fine. Run away. Run away. He's gonna run out of spells eventually. How long is this mind control gonna last? 1 second. Ouch. Please don't die. Please don't die. Please don't die. He died. Welp. Theus, die. Guys, are you gonna flip soon? Stop being mind controlled. 3 seconds. Oh, sure, whatever. New ogres. Ooh. Get this. Get him. He has so many spells, Jesus.
Yes?
If I can't heal, we won't last that long. Bypassing the cards defense, leaving them weakened. I need some way to heal. We have once per encounter stuff. Is that gonna work? I just want to heal. We won't be healing. Oh wait, this one. Absorb his essence. Also, you can heal. Heal. Please. Good heal. And we all got turned.
Yes?
Cool. Get this guy. His defense is too high, and the healing is too bad.
Following your lead.
Let me resummon all the ogres. Break the spell. Boop. Can we debuff the enemy somehow? I mean, we're hitting him. He's injured, but he might heal still. Let's do all of the buffs. Boom, shoot him with your gun. Also, these ogres got turned again. They keep getting mind controlled. Go. Boom, paralyzed, get him. Go, 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 go. New ogres. These times not mind controlled. Get him. Our paladin is down. Come on. He's almost dead. Please. Can you revive anybody over there? We can summon some more. He's getting... Oh, he healed. How do you heal? I'm looking. How did he heal himself? What kind of... I can't see.
Following your lead.
Oh well. So we need to focus him down. He's the more dangerous of all the enemies.
Following your lead. Following your lead.
Please focus Theas down. Thank you. More ogres. Come in. I think he might have infinite spells. God dang it. Time to run away. If he doesn't run out of spells, then that's too bad. He is the final boss, though. That's to be expected. New ogres, get in here. New ogres. Get him.
Following your
Just casting a bunch of spells. Look, if we can't kill him, then I gotta restart. If we don't do enough damage to overcome his healing, then so be it. I can recast the ogres. I can give a big buff to everybody. Let me try that. Big buff. Boom. And mind control. Okay. I'm restarting. Not working out. There's an autosave right here. I hope I don't have to redo the entire conversation. But we just gotta focus him down and do all the damage we can in a short amount of time. And make ourselves immune to mind control. Okay. Now. Pause. Focus this guy down. I want you over here. Give us immunity to mind control. Or just... up. A big buff. There. Oh, he's paralyzed. That's good. He has low defense. He's gonna die. He's gonna get killed instantly. Make him petrified. Over there. Give him a debuff. Go. Boom! Dead. Okay, next. Oh, what is that over there? He's not dead. He just transferred his soul. Oh, I see. We're gonna kill all these guys first. Now he's immune to damage.
Yes?
Okay, well. You, get this guy. You, get this guy. You guys run away. Okay. Hey, over here. Okay, thanks. And now we're back to what we were doing. Back to it. He's not healing down there. That's good. Give us a bunch of buffs. The more buffs, the better. This one's good. Magic, you're doing the magic. Okay. It's been 2 seconds and already he's down and we're about to kill this guy. Casting a bunch of spells over there. Boom, bunch of effects, paralyzed, good. More spells. Give me some tentacles to distract this guy.
Following your lead.
Give me Shrek to help us out. This guy's down, about to die. This guy also down. More spells. Where's the one to be immune against confusion and all the other stuff? Charm and Dominated. There we go. Immunity, please. Also, another spell. Might as well. Um... How about this one? An AoE attack.
Yes?
You over here? Give us another one of these spells. Boom. Goes back to his own body. Get the body. Oh, he healed too. Thankfully, he's gonna die soon. Boom. Oh, he's dead. He exploded. His giblets. He didn't even transfer his soul. You know, he could have transferred his soul to one of my ogres. I think that would be canonically fine. That went way better. At your feet rests the body of Tis, hollow. The dense. I don't think he. No, he's a bunch of giblets now. There's no body left. The dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an eternal burden, now smoothed across his color-drained face. His soul remains still for a moment, defenseless, its energy expended in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body like a death shroud.
All those lifetimes spent to preserve a single vital secret. I would expect a man to reconsider his choices after the first 500 years.
That's the servant down, and the mistress still to go. A good start, worthy of being built upon.
After journeying for lifetimes, I can't imagine his failure, knowing it was all for nothing.
Oof.
He was good at serving his god, I give him that. He should have picked a better one.
He spent his lives, more than any of us will ever know. For what? Binding the world to a lie. Could a man like that ever be redeemed?
Explore his soul. With a deep breath, you plunge into his soul, where in Breckenberry it had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends. Now it is expansive and borderless, its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Inquith. You travel for what seemed like ages, rushing to a known destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. As you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of the long tunnel. You come into a room where you are standing now, but it is new and pristine and filled with people. All turn toward the great Adra pillar and the machine that encases it. Theos stands at the machine, and you're one with him now. You look out at the crowd, at faces of shriveled old men and shrub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, and fathers clasping their children's restless hands, watching you with somber acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn your back towards the machine, your breaths constricted beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourself to set out alone on a journey without end. You take your place in front of it and place your hand upon a large mechanical disc. Giant rings creak to life, building speed. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerating machine. One by one the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies of where people once stood, many of them disintegrating into grey heaps. You look above the Adra pillar and a glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column, where the arcs... Also, Adra was there before the gods, huh? Where the arcs converge. It grows and pulses, translucent and bulbous, like some immense crystal. When the last arc disappears, the spectral mass hangs in a moment, no longer rotating, so bright you must shield your eyes with the outstretched hand. You bow your head in acknowledgement and look up back to see it melt into the pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares with a flash of light. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt. From all sides, Reti begins to bleed, and you find yourself in your own skin once more. You sense a listlessness to Theos' soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders its immediate escape, makes it vulnerable to manipulation. Return to the cycle. You remember this, Theos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever. Tear his soul apart. Banish his soul to the dark, to the shadow realm. Destroy all the memories. Maybe should be your penance. Tear his soul apart. We can give him the proper... give him the proper rest.
Was there nothing there worth saving? Forgive me. I know you chose wisely.
When it says tear your soul apart, I thought it means you tear the soul apart and then you send it back to the wheel, which is what usually happens to a soul.
A quick end. This is a mercy.
You reach out to Forteos' soul. You can feel its frailty in defeat. You insinuate yourself between the threads and pushing the weaving parts, unraveling the stitching until it's bereft of structure. In its midst, you dedicate your focus to a single idea, shatter. When you can contain it no more, you transfer it into Theos' soul. A detonation of will that expands in all directions, driving out the remnants of his essence, scattering into nothingness. In the stillness that follows, a single word echoes through your mind. The word that activates a machine. Alright. Uh-huh. Now to the machine.
Yes?
We have a bunch of baby souls here. We gotta figure out what to do with it. With your companions bearing witness, you step up to the place where Theos once stood. The great machine lies in front of you, idle and ready. Speak the command to activate the machine. Let's see. We have 5 options. Send the souls back. Return the souls to the bodies where they were intended for, which is not a good idea because they were probably dead. Entropically disintegrate the souls, ending their existence. Distribute their essence to existing souls, or disperse the soul to unknown. Just go back. Go back. You close your eyes and expand your perception outward, taking in the immense totality of the tens of thousands of souls orbiting the chamber. Your grasp on the soul is tenuous. You find yourself fighting to keep them all within your influence, and you can feel them slipping away from you as the machine gains speed. A brief moment comes when it feels as though you hold all of them at once, and their force is so great it feels as though they will tear you open apart. In that moment, you would give them a flow, a direction to follow.
At your command, the ancient device became your instrument, spinning to life with deafening resonance and gathering up the swirling essence like thread on a great spindle. There, in the pale, pulsing glow of the machine that set you on this path long ago, you summoned all your strength, focusing on your objective and blocking out all else. With a single concussive blast that rocked the chamber and sent you tumbling to the ground, you freed the souls from their stasis. Exhausted, your consciousness slipping away, your last sight was of the machine, dark and dormant. Then your eyes closed, and sleep welcomed you at long last.
Hey, we get to sleep. It's been like 2 months.
Searching for some time, you discovered the route Theos used to enter Sun and Shadow, and embarked on a long and arduous ascent back to the surface. You emerged in Ter Evron after days of tunneling through the rubble Theos had left behind, and when you stepped into the daylight, you were faced with a different Deerwood than the one you had left. At your direction, the lost souls of the Hollowborn were funneled back into the churn of Bareth's wheel to find their way into new vessels and partake in the life they had been denied during Widewind's legacy. Though parents of Hollowborn would remain just that, the end of Widewind's legacy would bring about a spate of new, healthy births, with many of the infants bearing souls once meant for Hollowborn children. The natural cycle of life and death had been restored to Deerwood, and with it came a renewed faith in the providence of the gods.
Sure.
Gilded Vale remained under the harsh rule of Lord Radric, who reigned unopposed after the death of his cousin Kolsch. He continued to terrorize the people of Gilded Vale, looking for Aerthasians in their midst. But to Radric, the sudden and unexpected end to Widewind's legacy came as a sign of the success and righteousness of his efforts, and in time, his own people came to believe it too. He relaxed his use of authority, no longer seeing his own people as potential threats, and Gilded Vale began to regain some of its old luster.
Cool.
Following the assassinations of Duke Avar Wolfgren and Lady Webb, Defiance Bay was thrown into political upheaval. In the ensuing weeks, the streets had become the domain of looters and blackguards. Few dared to step outside their own doors alone or unarmed.
Not sure I could have changed much about that.
But once the dozens had regrouped in the wake of the riots, they quickly put an end to the criminal activity. They patrolled the streets in droves and administered their brand of law on any perceived offenders. This was not the erratic justice of the mob, however.
The Dozens had taken to heart the strengths of their adversaries, the Knights of the Crucible, and emerged as a far more organized, disciplined force. With the waning strength of the other Defiance Bay powers, the leadership of the Dozens took the opportunity to establish its own group as the dominant peacekeeping force in the city.
Sure.
The Dozens would soon find themselves overwhelmed by the problems of a leaderless metropolis. But they found an uneasy new partner in the surviving forces of the Crucible Knights, who understood the city's infrastructure.
I didn't like
and were
Arc 2
able to
anyway.
keep the worst of its problems under
It sounds like
control.
this outcome was
Though the machine
predetermined.
atop Ter Noaneth had been disabled, it had not seen its last use. Heritage Hill was rebuilt, and no sooner had the first families moved in to resettle the district than members of the Leaden Key, acting under standing orders from their Grand Master, climbed the tower and reactivated the machine. The initiates slew a handful of the new settlers under cover of night, and watched as history repeated itself, the victims reanimating and devouring the survivors.
Again?
After this second incident, the district would remain abandoned.
Maybe that's for the best.
The Duke's assassination at the apparent hands of an Animancer had caused catastrophic rioting in the streets of Defiance Bay, and few Animancers survived the first day. Many Deerwoodans took the end of Widewind's legacy as a sign, both that the gods did not approve of Animancy, and that the purging of Animancers in Defiance Bay had been enough to satisfy them.
I mean, Animancers are like
In time,
pretty much all
they
incompetent or
learned to
evil,
subside.
so it's
A number
fine.
of surviving Animancers remained in and around Defiance Bay, often taking to the wilds to practice their science without repercussions.
Whatever.
Abaddon's renewal brought new vigor and purpose to a god long known for quiet, steady labor. Handicraft saw a revival in the Deerwood, and no smith wanted for an apprentice. Additionally, Abaddon's restored interest in preservation led to redoubled efforts to survey Engwithan ruins. Animancers and craftsmen alike found much to study, but tensions with Air Glanfath rose.
That's the DLC.
As for Stalwart, the Battle of Kairon's Scar only strengthened their resolve to unlock the mysteries of Durgan steel and build new marvels with the White Forge. However, Stalwart's ambitions brought them into further conflict with the Raid Serens, as more and more impoverished communities gathered at the border and vowed to finish the work of the Iron Flail. It would be many generations before the region saw peace.
Sure.
The Flames That Whisper clan found a cautious peace with Stalwart, particularly once the villagers heard of the aid the ogres had offered against the Eyeless. The clan moved back into the Russet Wood, and as Stalwart grew in prestige, the villagers formed a tighter alliance with their ogre neighbors. Within a generation, ogre traders visited Stalwart, and village hunters were welcome in the
I guess
Russet
legendary still does bring about
Neha
conflict.
never found the salt well,
Ooh.
but she found a kind of peace in her duties as a gift-bearer, and in the ebb and flow of her journey.
Oh, that's a DLC companion.
As she traveled and accepted burdens from Andra's supplicants, she saw in their eyes a kind of peace that she had not previously noticed. It was faith, not that Andra had freed them of their pain, guilt, and regret, but that she would, a little more each year. With that realization, Maneha learned to accept that Andra's ways were as gradual as they were inexorable. The fortress of Cadnua emerged as a bastion of security in the midst of an untamed land, becoming the envy of every Thane and Earl in Deerwood. Legend grew over time of its impregnability, and stories of formidable invaders easily scattered by the keep's defenses became popular around the hearths of Deerwoodinians. Likewise, it also became a beacon to travelers, merchants, and visiting dignitaries alike. Reputed as the finest fortress in all Deerwood, people would journey from near and distant lands alike to experience its fabled hospitality and grandeur.
At least it gets to be nice.
The Audra dragon, known as the Master Below, her soul now housed in the body of the huntress Fallen Roet, passed out of Deerwood in relative anonymity, her final destination unknown, even to herself. She was last seen in the port town of Road's End, boarding a ship, an Audra talisman glowing about her neck.
Alright.
Adair chose not to return home to Gilded Vale. Through a number of quiet inquiries, he soon found his way into the underground organization of Aethasians known as the Night Market. Ironically, in learning that the gods had been fabricated, Adair found his faith in Aethus renewed, and that his god was neither alive nor truly a god had become irrelevant. He rose quickly through the ranks of the night market for his optimism and for his bold leadership, his ultimate goal to make the Deerwood a place that would welcome followers of the Shining God once again.
Alright.
When the dust settled in Sun and Shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Theos Exarchanon, his former master. He saw where the Grandmaster had gone wrong and what would be required to undo the harm Theos had wrought. With a flick of his wrist, he burned Theos's robe, headdress, and every other symbol of the man's power. Never again, he vowed, should Kith live in fear and blind obedience to an authority they did not understand. Armed with the knowledge and courage he had gained on his journeys with the Watcher, he set out on the long and lonely task of dismantling the Leaden Key.
Guess you forgot about that one district.
With both their aims fulfilled, Kanarua bid the Watcher farewell and sailed back to his beloved Rawatai. There, he reported on his findings to the Lore College. Kana spoke of the Engwithan people, describing both their vile experiments and their inspiring accomplishments. He spoke too of the destruction of the tablet by the Leaden Key, and the group's efforts to erase the Engwithan legacy from the world. Both inspiration and cautionary tales, he said, could be found in the world beyond Rawatai's borders. Kana urged his people to continue to pursue knowledge abroad, so that the lessons found there might benefit Tekoa. Kana's inability to prove his theory of Engwithan influence diminished his academic standing, but his passion drew much interest from those less concerned with degrees. Kana swiftly became an influential figure in the move toward a more collaborative approach to expansion on the northern continent. In his personal life, he came to enjoy the reputation of an affable eccentric, willing to share grand and impossible secrets, along with a drink and a song.
He tells everybody he meets that the gods are
Theos
fake.
used Magrin's strength only until Theos had been cast from the world, and then swore off her influence entirely. Regret came to weigh heavily on his mind, and a man who had never previously lacked for words or opinions came to embrace silence and contemplation. He continued to wander, penniless and destitute, searching now not for the reason for his goddess's silence, but for a mechanism for revenge. The charred robes he continued to wear as a reminder that he had been burned by his goddess, and not just by the flames of the Godhammer. Sagani experienced the 4 months of her journey back to Masuk in vivid colors. She strove to memorize every moment of her final trip through the Deerwood, Erglonfoth, the Valian Republics, and beyond, preparing to tell her village of what she had seen on her long journey. All of Masuk shared in her triumph, and she felt her pride and elation magnified by the joy of her village. Never again did she doubt the value of her sacrifices. After decades as a long hunter, Sagani finally became one of Masuk's most respected elders. She guided the community with wise counsel, and a generation after she finally passed, another huntress journeyed into the world to find her soul. For you, the death of Theos brought an end to your waking visions, and a silence to the whispers of the past. In their absence, you were able to sleep. The questions of a distant lifetime ceased to trouble your soul. All that remained was what to make of the answer. But at the moment, there was little to be done, and the matter would have to wait. A long journey loomed ahead.
It does? Question mark. Uh-oh. What do you mean the long journey loomed ahead? Can I just go and retire? What do you mean the long journey loomed ahead? A journey to the second game? Pillars of Eternity. I mean, there is a sequel. I'm not sure if it's gonna be about the same character following the same, like, continuity or whatever. Oh well. Excuse me. Well, we finished the game. That's good. It definitely wasn't the best CRPG I've ever played. Pathfinder CRPGs were better. Baldur's Gate 3, much better. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 much better. But it's not bad. Yeah, it was alright. You know, yeah. I've said all my issues along the way. The combat, the lack of role-playing, the how, everything. But it's not like it's a bad game. It's just like a... It's definitely... I only ever heard things said about Pillars of Eternity as being a masterpiece, classic, cult classic, 10 out of 10 game. But this is definitely not... This is not what a 10 out of 10 game is at all. Especially when you can compare it to much better games that do the same, like, formula. Oh well. I go with like maybe a 7. Yeah, a 7. 7 seems okay. I give Pathfinder an 8 or a 9. Baldur's Gate 3, definitely a 9 or a 10. The original Baldur's Gate, that's a 10 out of 10. Yo, you know what was missing? We didn't have to solve any actual riddles. And when I mean actual, I mean like people who actually ask you riddles. Like for example, in especially in Baldur's Gate 2, in like the first like 10 hours when you're in the city, you get to solve so many actual riddles. Like where there's that one where you go to the magic circus and you have to like solve. It's like a sphinx, I think. You have to solve 3 riddles. Or you're inside of a dungeon and there's a treasure, but you have to solve a riddle. Or for example, there's that one expansion where you go to hell and you have to solve a riddle to get a special demonic weapon, like actual riddle. Like I think it was something like the poor see me, the rich fear me. I am in the dagger and whatever, and the answer was murder. You know, actual riddles, not puzzles, riddles. Oh well. What was that? Hey, no, go back. Go back. What was that? I just saw something. Pillars of Eternity uses the Espinosa Nova type family, based on the 16th century types of Antonio de Espinosa. Alright. What was that? Whoa. I just saw 3.5. What was that? Whoa. Let me look at these credits. Development weddings, development babies, development tabletop characters slain. So they were playing D&D 3.5. I guess did the 5th edition came out at that time? I'm not sure. Paradox QA, brand managing, PR team, interactive for sales, localization. I like the fast forward button. Localization tester. Black Shamrock, a developing studio. The White March, once again by Obsidian, and in Paradox. There's animations? Oh, I guess there is. Character animations. It was in 2 parts. Are you gonna have 2 different kids for the 2 different parts? A forum community. Right. A bigger cast of voice actors, I think. Well, how many tabletop characters did you lose? Let me check. Oh, 5th edition Dragonlance. Lost 3 of them. And back to Paradox's QA department. And Black Shamrock is back. Ooh, and Kickstarter. Big wall. And additional Kickstarter. Oh, that was gold level. Oh god. I think that's why there's a fast forward. B, C, D. Still D. Still D, E. G, H. G. Still G. K. M. Oh, still M. Imagine we just at this speed the entire time. S T W. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Which was this category? Is it more Kickstarter backers again? Additional backers. All right. A shorter one. Pillars of Eternity. Okay. What? What was that last quote about you are preparing for the long journey ahead? What long journey? Oh well. This was Pillars of Eternity? Ahem. 7 out of 10 was decent. Decent game. But not a cult classic. But apparently the sequel, Pillars of Eternity 2, is a better improvement. We'll see eventually. For now, since we're quite near Christmas, I'm gonna play a couple of special games for the Christmas times. And then Dwarf Fortress, because that DLC was really Dwarf Fortressy. And then Pillars of Eternity 2 for January. And then February is gonna be crazy because there's so many games in February. Alright, well, see you then. Bye bye. Boop.